Oh, that ride's real weird. That ride's real weird. I think those batteries are too big. So jumpy. Hella jumpy. But, you know what? It's considered, like, consistently jumpy.
Don't push it.
Don't push it. Famous last words, I know. You know what I think this is? This might be the XO1 of boats. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And something like a Zonda might be the infraction of boats, because this is so difficult to keep this thing planted. Does make me wonder though, because that last hit was pretty flat. I wonder if the method is to not roll into it, but like just floor it from a dig.
You just said the batteries are giving, so that's probably why it went better.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just trying to find any hope out of this.
Well, no.
53. Definitely not the fastest Geico in the world, and we got some work to do to try and find out why this thing is just not having it. But you know what? It's only the beginning of boating season, and
It only gets better from here.
only gets better from here,
And warmer.
and warmer, and probably more expensive from here, to be honest.
No, I don't like that one.
Yeah, I feel like it is this water. This boat has never been bouncy before. I got the trim tabs on it. They're set up right so that it doesn't bounce on the lake or the river. But this canal here is just not ideal for some reason. I don't know what it is.
I feel like the shreddy might do better on here.
Oh, the shreddy would fucking get it here.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to worry about like it flipping.
I was just kind of hoping that with it being long, smooth, flat, wide, kind of like a speed run road, you know, that it would be good for boating, but apparently not, which is a bummer.
I feel like it's the same thing as if there's rocks in the road.
Because I can hold throttle here and it's butter smooth, but literally just a touch more and it starts bouncing like a light switch, just like with the Geico. Right around 50 miles an hour, it starts bouncing like you flip the switch. Smooth, not smooth. And that was only like, I don't know, 5 or 6% more on the trigger. So who knows? No hooning this one. Want to go see if the boat ramp's open before I kill this battery? In an effort to find out why the boats are handling so poorly and why they're so bouncy, we're going to be changing things one variable at a time. This time we're going to be going to a different body of water to see that if our riding surface is going to be the cause of all the bounciness.
I think it was the canal.
Yeah, it might just be the canal. Oh! Hey, at least it wiped out close to shore. Well, if it's not already obvious, it's pretty obvious that I can give it way more throttle here than the canal. It is a little jumpy a little bit, but I think it's jumping.
Not as bad as it was.
But you know what? I'm actually learning something with this run. Well, a couple things. One, 2 zip ties on the rudder instead of 2.
Mm. 2 zip ties instead of 2.
Did I fuck that up?
Yeah.
2 zip ties instead of 1 on the rudder because the breakaway screws are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Have I ever told you how much those little plastic screws are?
Aren't they like 12 bucks?
They're like 12 bucks for 4.
Yeah.
Like, fucking get out of here.
That's why you went to zip ties.
Yeah, that's why we went to zip ties. Just a matter of finding the right zip ties that don't break away at 50 miles an hour. Anyway, no, you know what I've been noticing when it hops?
Mm-hmm.
When it leaves the water, it does one of these, right? It does one of these.
So is it heavy in the back?
It does one of these, if we could see on camera. So what it is I think there's too much weight in the front, causing it to nosedive, and the struts are aimed too far down, because when the struts are aimed down, it'll want to push the boat up this way, right? So, but I actually like these props a little bit more than the ones I was fighting with earlier. And you know what's funny is
It's broken.
no, nothing's broken here. If you zoom in on this, there's a spring here.
Oh, is that what? I thought that was part of it.
This is not part of the prop, and it's a spring. For all you nerds out there, that is a servo saver spring from a Traxxas 4x4. And the reason I put that in there is because this shank on this prop is too shallow, and I have to put something in between the nut and the prop because I bottom out against the threads before I grab onto the prop, right? So I need to fill the gap with something. As it turns out, the spring fills it perfectly. It's not too big so it doesn't flop around, and it's not too tight that it doesn't fit. So it fills the gap perfectly. So happy coincidence. But anyway, I like these props a little bit better.
How fast was it going?
That's a good question. Let's find out. Honestly,
I think like 45.
I don't know. I mean, it should be going a lot faster, but I frankly just am running out of space. 48. I mean, it's not very fast, obviously, but
It's close.
we're going faster on the canal, but that might just be because of the fact that the canal was moving. There's a current, you know. It's all a matter of setting this thing up so that it can actually accept speed without bouncing, because this thing has a lot of power in it, and there's no reason for it to be literally doubling its speed. Especially if I decide to run this thing on 8S, if I wanted to do that, which is capable, by the way. I decided to put together a special little connector here. Come over here. I can unplug while we're at it. But I put this together earlier, and I'm not sure if there's a correct term for this, but it is what I'm calling a double parallel. What it is I'm effectively joining these two batteries as if they are one, because it'll still put out 22 volts. But when you combine two in parallel, it doubles the runtime. Excuse me, sir, you're interrupting my video. Is he lost? Anyway, so parallel going in, parallel coming out. That way the speed controls are still getting 6S, and these are still putting out 6S. And the reason I do that is to make sure that the discharge from both of the batteries is the same across both speed controls. Because if one battery is more powerful than the other, one motor is going to spin faster than the other. So this is a means of equalizing, a great equalizer. With the help of some users on some forums, I had found out that the reason why my boat was handling so poorly is because I was only making changes one variable at a time. As it turns out, best results are usually achieved with a combination of weight balance and strut alignment. So with that in mind, I made some adjustments and hit on my local lake to see what sort of speeds I can get. Alright, this is the last pass, and I'll tell you when I actually hit full throttle. Full, holding. Let's do a quick temp check. I think I'm finally starting to learn how dual motor cats work. After struggling with this thing to give it full throttle without the bouncing, it's still bouncing a little bit, but I was able to give it full throttle for once and hold it for a considerable amount of time and still feel somewhat confident with it. Man, this water is so clear. Just look at that. You can still see the Sharpie markings on the props from when I identified them among my collection. That's funny. This boat is so pretty. And not just because of the weird lizard. Anyway, let's do a temp check. Let's just put that right there. Don't float away. hardly warm. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Wires, barely even warm. You know what that means? I can give it more prop. Upside down. So damage assessment, the hole I think survived twice.
You have to be careful.
The first wipeout was actually quite smooth as far as the crash is concerned.
Not the
and it landed
second
right
one.
side up. The second one was a little aggressive. I think the hull itself is fine. However,
The insides aren't.
the entire tray came loose. Come in on here.
There's still a lot of water in there though.
The whole tray came loose, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually somewhat common. This has happened to me before on the last hole. What happens is, I can actually pull these batteries out, give a better look.
Oh.
I know, these bugs are ruthless.
No, you got water on my
Oh,
face.
did
Yeah, when you pulled out the...
Well, we might as well check the GPS. What do we got?
Hold on.
58. So, not exactly ripping, but still got a lot to learn with this.
Dump the rest of the water out.
Yeah, I'm getting there. But the screws are still there, and so are these plates. These plates that are glued come undone. See that? This happens on a lot of these. This is like the second or third time this has happened to me on a Geico hole. I'm just happy. I don't think the hole itself split, and I think the water inside is because it was upside down and it came through the latch.